Okay, people, let's go out on this, right? So the EU have done some, supposed some research, right? And they are saying that X has the biggest proportion of disinformation out of the social media platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. They put LinkedIn. LinkedIn isn't social media, it's a job board, right? That's so bizarre. And I wouldn't claim YouTube to be social, it's video hosting, right? It's a different thing. Yeah, but I don't know if X is more than TikTok, right? The amount of bullshit that you hear on TikTok, right? I'm there's suppose they looked at 6,000 posts, but only in Spain, Poland, and Slovakia, right? And I suppose they chose those countries because of elections and their proximity to Ukraine. Yeah, like it's weird. It's really weird, you know. Supposedly there was this EU code of practice on disinformation. It's a voluntary thing, but Twitter was a member, and when Elon took it over, he left. Right, he left. But then there's this EU Digital Services Act, and the EU want to bring this code bullshit into it. Because here's the thing, right? Of course, X will have a lot more disinformation than any other website. And you want to know why, people? Because they aren't censoring. That's it. Now, having a lot of disinformation, it's not actually a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing when you give people the freedom to put out the correct information, right? So, hey, having someone say the earth is flat, they can do that. But then there are a load of scientists, right? Geologists and all manner of peoples with actual knowledge going, no, the earth is this. And it's good to have people be free to be themselves, because then you see who those people really are, right? You'd be able to see who those people are when they're making stupid comments, right? When the people make comments like Lawrence Fox, you know what I mean? You can go, "Ah, my man's a dick, right? He's a straight fucking moron. And who wants to date him? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. But by trying to muzzle everyone and make them conform to a certain line, everyone's hiding. Everyone's hiding. No one's being honest. You know what I mean? And the other dangerous thing is, right, is what are you calling disinformation? Because, we just over the last few years, so many things that everyone said that's disinformation, it's the truth. You know what I mean? Like saying the COVID vaccine isn't really a vaccine. It's not really a vaccine, right? Because a vaccine will cure people and prevent something from happening. The COVID vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID. So it's not actually a vaccine. You know what I mean? Right? The Hunter Biden laptop, that was disinformation at the start. Russian disinformation. It's a lie. It's fully true. Coke in the White House. It's a lie. It's very true. You know, there's so many things that were, classed as disinformation, and they're not. So, how the fuck are we supposed to believe these people, because the EU were part of those lies. The EU lies a lot. You know what I mean? And so here's the thing: the woman who's heading up this whole code of bullshit at the EU, she was just like, my message for X is you have to comply with the hard law. We'll be watching what you're doing. The EU's Values and Transparency Commissioner. What? The hard law. What is the hard law? Right? Because again, that's what it's saying. If you can classify something as disinformation, doesn't mean it is. Right? It doesn't mean it is. So I think this is so fucking funky. So fucking funky. Right? It's let the information flow because the right information is there. And I mean, it's up to us as individuals to be able to take information and go, yeah, that I'm with that, right? Because no one is putting out, just uninfluenced data. Whichever place you get your news from, it's always tinted in a certain way. So we shouldn't have to take one thing and go, oh, that's it, right? We should be able to look at many different sources and then work out and go, okay, this is what I take from all of this. So we can't just put these bullshit labels on things, say that's disinformation, that's this, that's that. No, because how do we trust you? How do we trust you? Like the EU is using a startup, right? This startup to supposedly look at all of these things. And we know how that shit works, right? Because back in the day, Twitter had fact checkers. And we know those fact checkers oftentimes were working off their own agendas. You know what I mean? So to claim that Trust Lab, the startup who is supposedly monitoring disinformation, to believe that everything they are labeling is correct is a stretch. It's a stretch because humans, right? Humans are flawed and humans have their own agendas. Whether it's like, oh, I want to have more drag acts in schools, right? I want guns to be banned. I want abortions to be banned, right? There's so many different things out there. I want everyone to be vegan, right? I want, like, everyone's got their own thing they want to hitch their wagon to. So if they're the ones looking at information, right, and being able to go, oh, I can say that is, because then that fits into what I believe. That's the problem with all of this. We're all flawed. We're all flawed. So just let the information flow like the spice, baby. Let it flow. Someone puts up a video about the earth being flat, we're going to have 10 others, going against that and giving people the real fact. And that is a free society. That's how it should be. Okay? All right, people, let's get into some other shit, shall we?